Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into our channel, the Ruger's World channel. So today we have a wheel and tire cleaning, more of a 101 basics video for you. And we're gonna be featuring Armour Detail Supply today. So we have no affiliation with Armour Detail Supply. We paid for all these products. No one sent us anything. So this way we have an unbiased opinion. So we're gonna talk about the chemicals we're gonna use, and we're gonna talk about the tools we're gonna use, and then we're gonna give you a demonstration of everything on there. So first let's talk about their wheel cleaner right here. They list it as a pH balanced formula. I'm going to read a little bit from the back. It says our advanced pH neutral formula features specialty degreasers, surfactants, and ferrous metals. Break dust, other road grime, color changing technology, blah, blah, blah. So it has that iron removing capabilities to that. So we're going to use that on the wheels. When it comes to the tire and the rubber, we have their tire cleaner right here. So really not much to read on the back of this. So the tire cleaner, you can buy it as ready to use RTU, and then you can also buy it in the 1 gallon container here. So we are actually doing a 1-to-1 dilution ratio on this because we refilled it. So after we clean the wheels, after we clean the tires, okay, we want to protect them. And we're going to use Armour Detail Supply beads. It's a touchless sealant when the rims are wet, and we're going to go through all the stuff. You spray it on, let it sit for a few seconds, and we hose it off. And then we're going to come back, and we're going to use Tire Plus on the tires. So this is going to give it a nice kind of matte finish. In our experience, we've gotten about 30 plus days using the Tire Plus. But one of the things I want to do today is, it's been about 30 days since we did the wheels and tires, is we're going to test to see if we're still getting some beading action from beads. All right. So the tools that we use, so the basic tools that I use for maintaining our vehicles and tire cleaning. So we have a nice kind of a microfiber woolish tire a brush to get into the wheel wells and things like that, or the spokes. So this one's from Suds Lab, very easily can be purchased on Amazon. Okay. Then we also have a wheel brush right here. This is the larger one. This is from the Detail Factory right here. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on the Rag Company. And then we have a Detail Factory, nice, very soft bristle brush for getting in those tight spots and where the lug nuts go and everything like that. And then we have a Rag Company Ultra wheel mitt. So this is generally what we use, you know, in our when we're doing our wheel and tire maintenance. As far as applying tire protectant, so a couple different tools we use here. I use a nice tire brush, a soft bristle brush. This one's actually from DIY Detail. So we use this, our tires on this vehicle, a little more aggressive, off-road tires. This seems to work really well. On our lower profile vehicle or lower profile tires, then I'll use this little guy right here. I can't remember the name of it, easily accessible on Amazon. So great little tool. So these are what we use as far as the tire protectants. Some other optional tools, right? So this is more of a boar's head brush. This is the Viking brand. You can get at O'Reilly's, very cheap on that. I would stay away from the ones that are purely nylon. If you're dealing with a vehicle that the wheels haven't been touched in years, got a lot of caked in grime, you can use one of these nylon brushes. I particularly do not like these. When you're pulling them back, it gets the stuff all over you. Not a big fan of them. And then our original tire brush was the Big Blue Stiffy from Chemical Guys. It worked really good. I thought it was a great brush, but the Detail Factory brush definitely does perform better. And then if you're a brush guy, this is the Chemical Guys. It's the Woolly Wheel Brush. Works really good. We've had this for, I think, 4 years now. Very soft. Then you could also use it in little areas like on the grills and things like that. Great tool. And then you also have like one of these smaller little like woolies for getting into the spokes and things like that if you wanted to. So again, we used to have all these different tools. Now we've pretty much just settled on these 4, and they hit for all of our everyday activity. So one of the things that I like to do is I don't like to just use pure water, because you've got to remember our rims, we have black rims on these, or wheels, however you want to call it. You don't want to induce any marring or scratching or anything like that. So since this is an Armour Detail Supply video, we're going to go with some Shampoo Plus in our wheel bucket. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, Garage Therapy Wheel Shampoo. This stuff works great. I love this stuff, but for today, we're going to be going with Armour Detail Supply. I got 1 ounce. We got about 4 gallons of water in here. We're gonna put that in just to add some lubricity to it. Just like that. And then a couple other products that we'll talk about as well is Simplfy and ceramic spray sealant. Those of you that don't want to use the beads product, you know, you can use ceramic spray sealant, which is about 6 months of protection, and then you can follow that up with Simplfy. This is more of a detail spray. Really great way to maintain your tires. So we're gonna get this sudsed up here real quick, and then we're gonna get to the video, or the demonstration, as I should say. Wear gloves when you do this. My hands are already wet, so I don't feel like taking the time to put the gloves on. So what I like to do in this order is I like to put my wheel cleaner on, let it sit for a little bit, and while I'm doing my tires, okay? I like to do the tires when they're dry, just where you're not diluting your product. So the one nice thing about the Armour Detail Supply products, they have really nice sprayers, as you can see here, and it has some foaming action. Since it does have an iron remover in it, it does have a little bit of a scent to it, but it's really not that bad. It's more of a clean scent. Again, you don't want to do this in direct sunlight, and you want to make sure that your wheel is cool to the touch. So we're going to let that soak in for 1 to 3 minutes. And now we're going to put on our tire cleaner right here. And this is also for plastics. So if you wanted to kind of come inside here, your wheel well as you can. We're concentrating this video on the wheels and tires. And I like that it has this foaming action to it. You do go through quite a bit of this. I want to say one bottle got me about 4 washes. That's why I went with the gallon. You can see it, and we went pretty liberal with it. You can see it changing colors. With these, I prefer not to wait a very long time. I just get right to it. So we're going to take our Detail Factory brush right here, and then we're just going to start brushing. The nice thing with this is they're stiff, but they're not so stiff that you have to worry about hurting your rims. And here, I like to take this edge and get right into where that bead is, where the tire gets installed. And depending how dirty your tires are, what I like to do, rather than just putting this right in my bucket and getting it filthy, is I like to just spray it out. See all that crud coming out of it. Again, you do not need a pressure washer for this. You can do it with a regular hose. They do have those little wheel mats you can drive over that lifts your tire up so you can really get perfect under it. The cleaner you get your tires, the better your tire lotion or conditioner is going to turn out, and the longer it'll last, and you won't get any tire sling. You can see a little bit of the changing of color from the iron remover in here. I'm going to spray this off. Okay. So what I like to do is spray a little wheel cleaner right on my brush and get right in there where the lug nuts are. Again, having that shampoo in the bucket helps with lubricity. These are black, shiny painted rims, so you might as well treat them like you would paint, right? You can see how we get right in there, and then also get into that lug nut is, the tire valve is, just like that. And then if you wanted to kind of go along that bead, you can. Then I like to go along with my little wheel mitt. It's the Rag Company Ultra. And the great thing with this is you can feel everything with it. So you can get right in there, and it's soft enough on your rim. Again, there's some people that like using the brushes. I've noticed I really don't have a need for the brushes. See right here the color changing from the iron remover. This is just a really nice experience doing it with the mitt, I feel. I can really feel that I'm getting in there and all the nooks and crannies. Again, if you're a brush guy, use your brush. Just make sure it's a nice soft brush. Detail Factory has brushes as well. Now we're going to take our Suds Lab barrel brush. I like to always kind of start at about 12 o'clock, and then you just want to get in there. See, we're still getting good suds in action. Some of that's from the car shampoo. Some of that is from the wheel cleaner, and you want to really get in there in those barrels. You see how we're changing colors down there? But if you always start in one spot, it makes it a lot easier. So you generally right around the halfway spot, 6 o'clock, I like to redip. And go. This way I'm not rubbing any of that porous metal, brake dust, stuff like that. I'm not rubbing it into the barrels or the spokes. Nice thing with this is soft, so I'm not going to be scratching the shiny metal spokes or tire or rim. You see right here how we're changing colors, right? So the wheel cleaner is doing its job. So I'm going to get the wheelie brush. I'm going to kind of show you how to do it with the wheelie brush as well. I just try to cut down on the amount of tools I've been using because it also helps to cut down on the amount of stuff you need to clean. But you see how this kind of gets into all the nooks and crannies as well. I've just seen better results. I like the experience of the mitt, but otherwise you can see you can get this right in there. Very soft, been using this for years, have never scratched anything on there. So, or if you really want to get into that bead where the tire meets your wheel, brush helps you with that. So, you know, use a brush, use a wheel mitt, use both of them, however you want. Okay, so we're gonna hose this puppy off. And again, when you spray in here, you can use your barrel brush and stuff to clean out that area. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So we're using a 40-degree tip on ours, so we're not worried about getting too close or anything. So the beads protection, the protection you get from using beads, the tire cleaner with the iron remover is definitely going to eat at that, where you see you start losing kind of that hydrophobics. That's why that stuff was really designed to be used after each use. So we're going to try putting our tire cleaner on there, see if just one application took care of it at our 1-to-1 dilution. Again, great sprayer. I like the experience of foam. So again, washing your car should be an experience. So I think foaming gives you a little bit more of a nicer end user experience. Let me get a tiny bit of brown and not much. So really with a 1-to-1 dilution ratio, we really got off that old tire protectant and whatever other crud got onto the rubber. This is a really nice experience. This brush, it's, you know, it's a soft grip right here. It's soft, so if you do hit anything on there, you're fine. And then also, if I wanted to get in here, I would use a different tool for if you're going to be doing that. Or have a dedicated brush for your wheel wells. You can see here, I mean, one pass was all that we had needed. So make sure you give it a really good rinse, get into those barrels, things like that. Make sure everything is rinsed off well. So now we're going to apply our beads, and we're going to show you that experience. Right, always shake it up really well. You want to put this on when the tire is wet. So again, we're just using this on the wheels. So we want to do a pretty liberal amount. I did about 6 sprays. If you want to, make sure you're getting into those areas. You can do so. But I did about 8 sprays or so. So on the back of this, on the directions, it just says spray beads onto a clean wet panel using 3 to 4 sprays. Obviously, we went a little bit more because it is the wheel. Work one section of the vehicle at a time. Allow to sit. Allow a slight dwell time. Rinse beads starting at the bottom of the panel, spreading across the whole panel. Rinse vehicle thoroughly. Once all panels are treated, dry the vehicle. And it says it's really that easy. So we're gonna let it dwell for a few seconds, and then you can really see on the tire how clean it got that. So we're gonna go from the bottom on up when we rinse this off. So we're giving it this slight dwell time. Everyone has a different definition of slight, so you can put that in the comments. Interactivity on the channel. So we suggested. And see how it gets a little white. There we go. So you start from the bottom up, so you're pushing it up rather than just spraying it off. So this is at the point when you'd want to dry your tires. So if you're going straight to washing the vehicle, which a lot of people wash their tires first and then wash the vehicle, that at the end you're going to want to dry your tires. I like actually doing my rims and tires at the end. That's just me. So you can sit here with a drying towel, go through all that, but we have a little cheat that we're going to do. We have our little Ryobi 18-volt blower. This thing works great. Nice thing's got a rubber tip on it, so if you do come in contact with the vehicle, you're fine. So a couple different things you can do. You can just dry it right away, or I like to use a little bit of amplify. Gives it a little bit more shine and a little bit extra added protection. Kind of like a drying aid. Yes, even though we just put beads on there, this just gives it that little bit of shine and anything to help extend the protection. And again, you want to keep all that brake dust, road grime, all that stuff from sticking to your tires or your rims, your wheels. So, and if you do it right, you're not gonna, you can use a good drying towel like we have here, right? There's no reason to use a different one if you're getting all your stuff nice and clean. Again, treat your wheels like you would the body of your vehicle. It's a painted surface with a clear coat. Great thing about that little blower, it gets in here, blows all the stuff out of those lug nut areas. The little Detail Factory brush is great for getting in there, getting into those tight spots. So many different types of wheels and lugs in there. See, we got a little bit of water spotting on that. So might come back again, get those off. A little bit of water spotting right there. So, and that's something to look out for too. If you get a lot of water spotting or anything, go over it again. But otherwise here, nice and slick, nothing on the hand. Again, on the rubber, nothing. So, did a really good job. Feels nice and clean on there. The rims look nice and clean. Amplify works as a drying aid on that. Again, we're just gonna make sure we get all the detail spray off. since it does have a little SiO2 in it, you're going to want to soak your rags as well. Get a little bit of water spotting from the sprinkler, so maybe we'll give that a second treatment. So typically you want to let your tires dry completely. Ours are pretty darn dry, so we're going to go to the next step, which is going to be adding protection on our tires. So we've cleaned the tires, cleaned the wheels, we've added protection on the wheels with beads, and then we top that with Amplify. Now we're going to use Tire Plus right here. So we're going to get our tire brush and show you how we do it with that. Here's our detail factory. I'm sorry, our DIY detail brush. And cameraman, need the Tire Plus behind you. There we go. So you always want to give it a good shake. And I like to spray directly onto my brush. This stuff smells like bananas. It's like a mix between bananas and Hubba Bubba gum. Their wheel cleaner really didn't have much of it had more of like a clean odor to it. Didn't have anything too bad. Even though it was an iron remover in there, it didn't stink like a traditional iron remover. So I like to start kind of in this bead first, you know, so I'll get the edge of my brush and then I'll just kind of take this right in there. Okay. And again, if you're getting anything on the rims, you just come back and wipe those off. Nice, and with the brush, you can really get in here. We have aggressive tires, raised lettering, raised sidewalls, just such a get in there. Again, it's easier to apply more than to remove. I mean, don't over apply is what I'm telling you. A little bit at a time. So it's easier to build on it. You put too much on there, it can be a little bit of a pain in the neck. So, but the brush, just put light pressure on there. And then if you want it shinier, just come back after 15 minutes, throw a little bit more on there. Here I'm just building on top of it because I was a little light. Again, we've gotten over 30 days with the Tire Plus. They do make a ceramic tire sealant called Ghost, I believe, but we have yet to try that. I'm fine with Tire Plus since we're regularly cleaning the tires anyway. You can see that easy. If I want it glossier, I just come back, put another coat on there. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go to the table, and I'm gonna give you our final thoughts. Our final thoughts, great experience using the Armour Detail Supply products as far as wheel and tire care. So we're gonna go through what we did. First off, we put some of the Shampoo Plus in our wheel bucket. So we always use a dedicated wheel bucket, dedicated tools. If you're doing it right, you're not gonna have a ton of garbage in there if you rinse off your tire brush. So first we applied the wheel cleaner. Great experience. I love the foaming experience with that. Has the iron remover in there, changed colors, got it really nice and clean. This says it's safe for just about all metals. When it comes to aluminum, raw aluminum, no. Polished aluminum, yes. And then we went with the tire cleaner. So we're using a 1-to-1 dilution ratio. So it talks about the different dilution ratios right here on the container. So it says 1-to-1 for extreme duty, 2-to-1 for heavy duty, 4-to-1 for maintenance. Okay, I've done it at 4-to-1, works just as well with 4-to-1. Sometimes you got to do a second application with the 101. You can see how we got away with single application. After that, we rinsed everything off. We put beads, a nice little layer of protection. You could be done at that point and dry it off. We went a little extra mile, put a little bit of Amplify as our drying aid on there just to extend that protection. Sorry about that, our Ryobi just likes to cycle every once in a while. And then to top everything off, we went with our Tire Plus tire conditioner. So really good experience. I like this. It's not too jelly, not too sticky. It's water-based, goes on really nice, has a nice matte finish, and it has long-lasting protection on there. So again, this is kind of a two-step method, right? We have a dedicated wheel cleaner, dedicated tire cleaner. I've always been more of the all-in-one method, but I've had such a great experience with this. This is what I do every time. Okay, a couple other sleepers. So if you want like just an all-in-one, don't sleep on this. The Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions Hyperfoam. This stuff works great. It does have an iron remover in it. You can see right there. We used to use this, never had a problem with it, right? The tire cleaner does a better job of cleaning the tires though. But you have a lot of all-in-ones. You have your Adams, which works pretty darn well. Wheel and tire cleaner. Ethos, oops. Ethos, it doesn't take a fall very well apparently, but Ethos has a wheel and tire cleaner as well, an all-in-one. I have not had good results with that. That's just my. So if you're unsure about your tire, or I'm sorry, about your wheel, Adams makes an eco wheel cleaner. It's a little hard to find. I found it on Amazon a couple years ago. When you're dealing with aluminum wheels, specialty wheels, some aftermarket wheels, I would definitely give this a shot, the eco wheel cleaner. Do that and then pair that with a dedicated tire cleaner, and then you'll be really well. When it comes to tire shines, don't sleep on chemical guys. This tire shine right here works really well, has good long lasting protection on it. It doesn't fling or anything like that. I got this in a kit with one of the buckets that we got on clearance. Been very happy with this. It works really, really well. But our experience with Armour Detail Supply in their tire cleaning system has been phenomenal. I feel it's great. It's very easily accessible. You can get it on Amazon, the rag company, the House of Rags. Go direct through Armour Detail Supply. A lot of times you sign up, you can get 15% discounts, all that type of stuff. Great products, happy experience. And the last thing, whenever you're working on your car, don't forget a nice cold Arnold Palmer. So we have another video we're going to be doing on using P&S Brake Buster. So stay tuned, give us a like and subscribe. Positive comments only. Hopefully this video was informative for you guys. Again, more of a wheel cleaning, one-on-one, maintenance 101. If you're cleaning your tires and your wheels, you know, once a month, once every couple weeks, you don't have to go super hardcore in chemicals and things like that. So, all right, give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.